Hi everyone, and welcome to How to Beat Mini, a spin-off of my usual How to Beat series. Instead of an in-depth explanation of a problematic deck, these videos are meant to be some basic tips and strategies to keep in mind when facing off against these powerful, but not broken decks. So, with that out of the way, let's get into our first ever candidate, Varga. Varga as a deck seems to embody all the things that Dragon Empire is known for, retiring rearguards and restanding vanguards. It's a strong, well put together deck that applies strong pressure each turn. Let's start with a brief overview of how the deck works. At the end of the battle that Varga attacks, it retires all fighters' front row units and restands itself. In theory, this results in basic attack pattern, where the rearguards attack first and the battle ends with just 2 vanguard swings. However, the deck has access to a plethora of units to counter this self-retire. Cards like Shura enable recovery of pieces and multi-attack, while the other rearguards will get themselves off board or simply be immune to retire. Additionally, Varga has access to a Divine skill, which is a one-time second restand. Because the Divine skill is locked behind the opponent being at 4 damage, this results in most builds opting for early game aggro. The deck inherently has access to this with the ride line popping itself as you ride up, becoming 10k and 15k attackers once on Varga. These units contribute to creating good magic numbers, especially when up against a grade 2 Vanguard. So what can we do to counter this playstyle? Any fan of my regular How to Beats should be familiar with this one, but you should always make sure you guard early. By keeping yourself at low damage, specifically 3 damage, you can prevent the Varga player from using their Divine skill. Always remember that the second Vanguard swing is the easiest to deal with, as it will have no drive checks, so what you see is what you get. There's a certain degree of counterplay possible in this scenario. If possible, you can lure the Varga player into blowing their Divine skill early. After using the Divine skill, the deck becomes much more straightforward to play against. The deck is also susceptible to damage denial, as even just using the Divine skill is going to require 2 CB. Additionally, the Varga player will most likely try and use their restand every turn, meaning that you can theoretically drip feed them CB until you're ready for a final turn. However, proper damage denial might be somewhat hampered by the fact that their front row rearguards tend to disappear after their turn. On the topic of front row rearguards, be mindful of your own. Make sure you do your best to utilize your intercepts or place rearguards that can remove themselves from the board. So, there you have it. The deck is strong, but not without its flaws. Cater your play to exploit these weaknesses, and you should have no problem dealing with it.